Kid born with eczema, I'm putting together a conspiracy theory. My cousin baby, Isaiah baby, my baby, and a lot of babies that was born recently got eczema.
Free?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's been something.
Well, I didn't notice it.
My sister has some form. I guess it's not eczema, but she has some form of something.
It's some form of it. She welts up.
Yeah, you can do like this, or it's gonna look like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody squeeze her arm for the
Three
last
of
10
my
minutes.
sisters
Or like,
got eczema.
Kermit got eczema. But I'm pretty sure it's just him being allergic to stuff.
I don't remember people having skin problems when I was growing up.
That flares up.
I mean, my sister, but not too much. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We understand that it is not obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, any supernatural experience that you may have, or brand new little baby, you know what I'm saying, round belly, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent, that they might live. When we say that, when we talk about, you know what I'm saying, the Most High God to use it against you, in our reading, we actually just saw an example of that, King Solomon. All right, when the Most High God approached King Solomon about having all them wives and letting their wives, he didn't necessarily approach him by having all the wives. He approached him because the wives drove him, like he already told him it was going to happen. The wives drove him to set up idols and all this other stuff for that they worship, right? They drove the people to start worshiping their gods. He set up idols for them. So he broke the commandments of the Most High God, you know what I'm saying, being drawn in by these women. And when he approached them about it, he is like, man, I showed myself to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was one of the first things he said to him, like, I appeared to you. You know what I'm saying? So that might have been something that Solomon brags about. Not saying he did, but just saying like you know what I'm saying? We might want to feel like, man, I'm special. God showed himself to you. You know what I'm saying? The Most High God didn't show himself there. Most High God used that against him, and he is like, I showed myself to you. And it's what you did. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to think about. It's like all these things that we get, anything that we might call a blessing, right? Anything that we might look at and be like, oh, well, God has been good to me. Or God, you know, I'm special in God's eyes. Or God loves me. Or anything that would cause us to feel like, these people got a low bar for God loving them. You know what I'm saying? You tell them, I woke up this morning. You know what I'm saying? That's love that God loved them if they woke up. You got I woke up. He's still here another day. You know what I'm saying? That's they bar for God loving me. Like, goodness gracious, Most High God said you know what I'm saying? He raised the sun on the just and the unjust. Ain't that what he said? You know what I'm saying? He make it rain on it. You know what I'm saying? He had mercy on the just and the unjust. Right? So we look at it, that's a very low bar to understand if God loved you. But even that, right? If you look at that, whatever you look at, you be like, well, God loved me because this happened, or because he did this, or he always answered my prayers, or anything like that. Those are the things you should be thinking about, like, man, goodness gracious. Because when I show up to the man, if I ain't right, the man gonna look at me and be like, man, and I did this, that, and the other, and you still did it? That's crazy, right? That's why we say anything you get, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and will be used against you in the day of judgment. Let's see. Where do we want to start today? Let's do Eli, give me a number.
12:17.
I'll take it. That's right, give me a book.
Eli, tell TJ to come in.
No?
TJ.
Let me get 12:17. Give me Hebrews 12:17. Nah, let's get something out of the Old Testament. We'll go up to 12. Give me Jeremiah 12. Nah, that's too popular. Let's go something that we don't really go too much.
Do Amos or Hosea or something.
Amos don't go to 12. I need something that go to 12.
Hosea go to 12, right?
Isaiah do, yeah.
Hosea.
Hosea, let's do Hosea 12:17. I don't know if Hosea go to 12. If it do 12, probably the last chapter. But Hosea may not go to 12. It might go to 8-2 or something like that. It go to 14? Okay, this is Hosea 12:17. Let's just see what the book says. You don't have 17? All right, well, let's get 7. Eli, is it okay if we take 7 instead of 17? Okay. Eli says it's okay if we just take 7. This is Hosea 12:7. I appreciate you, Eli. That don't make no sense. Got a fly in here.
He is a merchant and balances. He is a merchant. The balances of deceit are in his hand. He loves to oppress. And Ephraim said, yet I am become rich. I have found me out substance. In all my labors they shall find none iniquity in me that were sin. And I that am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles as in the days of the solemn feast.
Mm-hmm.
I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied.
He said, I will make thee to dwell in tabernacle. What's a tabernacle?
Temporary dwelling place.
Right? He said, I'm gonna make you dwell in a tent. You know what I'm saying? You only gonna have temporary home and like what? Like when?
As in the days of the solemn feast.
Right? When he say in the days in the solemn feast, he's talking about the days when we was in the wilderness. Right? We was walking through the wilderness and we had our feast out there. He is like, man, as in the days of the solemn feast, I'm gonna make y'all dwell in tents. Right? This is the punishment that he gave to Ephraim. So in other words, he telling Ephraim, you're not gonna have a place of your own no more. And that's exactly how it played out. Right? Ephraim represents all of Israel, the northern tribes. Right? So the northern tribes, they was taken by who? Assyria, right? So Assyria took them out, put them all in the north, somewhat in the east, put them out there, and then they started to scatter. Some historical records tell you they went down to Africa. That's why some of our people, you know, or some of our other people in Judah, you know what I'm saying? That's why we knew where to go. Right? So we was all over the place. He scattered them first. Then he took Judah and the Romans scattered us. So at the end of the day, we all scattered together, and then he gonna bring us all back in. Well, we all scattered apart, and he gonna bring us all back in together. Right? But you look at the reasons why he did it. This is the nature of our people. Right? He's talking about, man, you a merchant of unjust. So read it again, that verse 7.
He is a merchant. The balances of deceit are in his hand.
He said you had unjust balances. We just talked about the balances. So that was us. He's charging us with that. Right? So we look at it. The Most High God, you gotta understand, the Most High God knew what he was doing to put us. Grab Romans real quick. Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. All right, so the Most High God, he understands what he's doing. He's doing these things intentionally. We ain't got to get it, but if we look back in Deuteronomy before we went into the land, before we came into the land and took it from the Amorites, the Canaanites, he told us, I'm not giving you this land because of what? What was the reason that he was not giving it to us?
Because of your righteousness.
He said it wasn't because we righteous. Instead, it was because of what?
Judgment came on those people.
He said it's the sins of these people. And once you think about that, it establishes a rule with God. It establishes like anybody can get it. Like don't make a mistake. Anybody can get it. I'm letting you take it, not because of your righteousness, not because of nothing that you know how the Christian tell you. You say not because of your righteousness, not because of what you deserve. That's how the Most High God looking at it. He looking like, I'm not giving you this opportunity because you deserve it. You just ain't messed it up yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how he look. You just haven't messed it up yet. That's it. So it's like I might as well take whatever's there, whoop they butt with it. I'll let you get it. You gonna mess it up, and I'm gonna take somebody else and whoop your butt with it. That's it. So he just moving pieces around. But he's taking us as a people. What Romans chapter 12 say? Verse 1.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right, so that's our call. Our call is not to be going in places with unjust balances and cheating people and lying to people and all that. Our call is to be able to be the example of what's right, to prove what's right. People gonna look at us and be like, oh, you crazy, that's doing too much, it don't matter, this, that, and other. But people should be able to look at us and be like, okay, well, that's right. And if they confused about what's right and wrong, they should be able to look at us and be like, I found out all this other stuff was wrong, but he's still doing the same thing he's doing. Let me try that now. Or she's still, you know what I'm saying, she's still operating the way she operated. Let me try that now. That's the call that he put on us. When we or don't listen to that call, right? When we on something else, what happens is we get put where we are now, right? Being descendants of a captivity, right? And so now even the smallest suspicion of a crime, not even a crime, the smallest suspicion of a crime could lead to our death, right? Grab where it say obey your rulers. Is it Romans or
Timothy.
No, I ain't Timothy, is it? Romans or Corinthians, right?
Obey your master.
Yeah. Well, no, not obey your master. Be subject to the authorities.
Subject to authority. Bro, I don't know. I still think it's Timothy.
No, I think it's Romans. It's Romans something. Romans,
Because they rule over your soul, is what he's saying.
yeah, God put them in place.
Yeah.
Right? The Most High God put these people in place. Like, we have to understand, like, if we believe that this is our captivity, right? That we descendants of the people that came over here in captivity, right? And we believe that, then we have to understand that God put us there. Just like when God put us to the Assyrians and God put our brethren to the, our fathers to the Babylonians, right? God put them there for a reason, to humble them.
Yeah, he even said it. He said, I'll tear down and set up who I want.
That's it. It's just for a reason to humble them. Remember, he set up Pharaoh. God put us there. Set up Pharaoh. He ruled over us. Then he showed you know what I'm saying? That's how Most High God, that was his coming out party. A lot of people didn't know about the Most High God at that point. You know what I'm saying? These people didn't drifted off because when was the first time the Most High God's name was spoken?
Around Abraham's time.
Grab Genesis. It's Genesis chapter 4. Give me the last
But
chapter.
they didn't know me by that name. Who was he talking to when he said that?
That was Moses.
Moses, right?
Yeah, he said that to Moses.
No, he said that to Isaac.
No, he said that to
Oh, he
Isaac.
said
No, he said
to
to
Moses.
Moses. Yeah, he said that to Moses. Grab Genesis chapter 4. Give me the last chapter, or last verse, whatever the last verse is.
That's when people, yeah, that's right. Man. It's like that's when people start calling on the name of Yahuwah. Like, well, okay. There's so much stuff. For what?
Give me the last verse. What is it? The last verse. What's the number?
26.
This is 4 Genesis chapter 4 verse 26.
And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
Right? So when it say the Lord capital letter, what is it really saying?
Yahuwah.
Right? So it said that's when they began to call on the name of Yahuwah. People knew him. Right? The people started doing their own thing, drifting off, you know what I'm saying, doing all this other stuff, right? People don't know about him no more.
They
Right?
Killed them all with the flood.
People don't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody messing with him. Right? After the flood, though, then you got, you know what I'm saying, stems of generations that go past. They all came from one God-fearing man. Right? Then all these other nations built. You got Babylon, you got all this stuff going on. Then you get all the way in the coming out party for the Most High God. The way he said, I'm introducing myself to the world with Pharaoh. Because Pharaoh was the empire. He said Pharaoh all the way up, just be like, now I got somebody I can make my fame with.
Yeah, I think probably before Egypt there wasn't like an empire that cracking.
Yeah, at least it ain't documented in the book.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the one he chose. He said, man, I set you up just so I could take you down. That's it. I got that.
Bro, balling, bro.
We are in this position for that same type of reason. Right? We in this position. So it's like if we don't remain obedient, and a lot of people will try to tell us otherwise, right? It's like, you know what I'm saying? We not playing by the same rules as everybody else. Because we have different promises than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same thing. It's not like we not living. Man, try to find what I'm looking for. ain't Romans 10, maybe Romans 9.
What he said? What?
The authorities. Obey the authorities. Be subject to the authorities.
I don't even got my phone.
But we subject to the Most High God. So when the Most High God is putting us in a position where he's saying, listen, you in your captivity, and we rebel against that captivity by not acknowledging this captivity. Right? We living in la la land. Right? We just walk around just like, it's what?
Romans 13:1.
It's 13. It's Romans chapter 13. Appreciate you. It's Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Right? So we in our captivity pretending like we just as rich as these other people. Somebody just posted on my post today. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about Trump. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't like talking about Trump because I feel like an echo. I'm not into feeling like an echo. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't feel like that's valuable for me to be saying the same thing that everybody else saying. So I tend not to like say much about Trump. It's like, oh, you already said it. You already know he's terrible. You know what I'm saying? I ain't killing my time with that. But I was frustrated. You know what I'm saying? The homie, you know what I'm saying? The homie said some messed up stuff and it's just like, goodness gracious, this stuff. You know what I'm saying? This boy's a mess. Like, and this is where we are. I just get frustrated, like, the fact that they try to pretend like they're giving us, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, vote for Biden. It's like, that's just disrespectful to me. It's just disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you looking at me, you just looking at me and saying, you idiot. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you the same person, you idiot. And now y'all about to argue with each other about the lesser of two evils. I'm giving you the same person. And you about to argue with who the lesser of the two evil. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just disrespectful to me. It's just like, and not just a black person disrespectful. Like, it's just disrespectful to anybody who disagree with either one of them. You know what I'm saying? Now you got half of the country got to force themselves to pretend like they agree with Biden just because they've been taught to hate Trump so much. Knowing they don't agree with the man. Knowing they think Biden is a darn creep pedophile likely. You know what I'm saying? Just nasty people, bro. Nasty people. And you look at it like this, how you look back in history and be like, man, I can't believe that happened. Like, woo. How they let Hitler do that? Or how they, you know what I'm saying? How they let Stalin do that? Or, you know what I'm saying? All these super evil people in history, and you look at this stuff and be like, nah, I can see it.
It's happening.
Y'all sitting there, y'all about to let this man go all the way and challenge some complete weirdo who's in prison now. You about to let him challenge, and he's a complete weirdo himself. A complete sicko himself. And y'all gonna pretend, everybody gonna act like, oh, you got a woman said the man that, you know what I'm saying, sexually assaulted her. You know what I'm saying, going on, all these Democrats last year, same Democrats, you know what I'm saying, talking about, oh no, getting people fired, canceled, all types of stuff, which is right. I agree with it, do it. And when it comes to Biden, bro, you know how long it took them to pick up that story? And then when they picked it up, the first time, they didn't report like, this person says this. The first time they picked it up, they call themselves doing a full investigation. Before they reported on it, they did a full investigation. Well, we interviewed everybody and this, that, and other, and no one can confirm that they've ever had any, that they ever felt like Biden sexually assaulted them or did anything like that. You read down to the clip notes, however, many people did say that Biden does have a space issue where he can't get too close to you, and he doesn't seem to have a touch barrier. He will touch you, and this, that, and another. It's like, oh, so you put that way at the bottom, and you in bold letters say, ain't nobody say. It's like, this is sick. You know what I'm saying? It's like sick that you're like, since you're my guy, I don't care. That's not justice. Right? That's not justice. That's where we are, though. Right? And now you can see how a terrible person, and the people will enjoy it because it's their guy. Right? And it's not the other people's guy. That's what happened when you start playing for the team. You know what I'm saying? The team becomes more important than the principles. You know what I mean? Keep going. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Then we got to get to Yahushua at some point.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God.
Mm-hmm.
The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of God.
Right?
And they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. For the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Will you then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and you shall have praise of the same.
That's what we look for. He said, just do what's good. Right? I can guarantee you, we liable to get killed for something that another person might just get a ticket for. Like, that's just how it is for it. That's just liable to happen. That's not, it's by design. Like, that's how the Most High God wanted. He telling you, I put these people in play. You are in these people not in captivity. The Mexican hop over the wall and get here, he's not in captivity. The African that save up all his money and come here by plane and then get inside of an immigrant program, he's not here by captivity. The white person who came from Europe, or their ancestors came from Europe and they came over here, they not here by captivity. The Native American who claimed they was already here, they're not here by captivity. The only people that's here, the Asians, that came over here bringing all the corona. Now they're playing. Right? You know what I'm saying? But when they came, they not here by captivity. These people choose to be here. At some point, at some time, their families or them, they chose to be here. We are here by captivity, so it's different when the Most High God is looking at you're still under punishment. When you in jail, you're gonna get treated different from somebody who's free out on the street. Like this, you think you got the same experience as everybody else. We tell ourselves, but we don't. This is captivity. We can't lose sight of that. Like this is our captivity, and it's not. We have to be able to look at it two ways, right? 100% captivity, and it's because of the sins of our ancestors. Then the other way we gotta look at it is these people ain't fair, right? These people ain't fair and they not just. But both are true. Sure, we speak out about the fact that they not fair, and sure we can protest or do whatever you want to do to kind of fight against that injustice. But at the same time, when you structure the way that you about to behave yourself, when you look out and you say, you know what, this is the person that I'm going to need to be, you have to keep in mind this is captivity for you to teach you to obey God. This is God saying, since you won't obey me, I'm going to give you somebody who you going to obey. I was good to you. I looked out for you. I told you, look, you do it this way and I'll do this for you. But since you didn't want that, let's see how these white folks treat you. Right? You got to understand, like white folk wrong. And I'm not saying none of this. Please don't mistake none of this into saying, oh, just bow down to the white man. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is you need to bow down to the Most High God. When the Most High God put you in front of what's right and what's wrong, you need to choose what's right. Because when you choose wrong, the white man gonna shoot you. Now, if the white man shoots you when you choose right, now God can work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when God say, now I'm in there. He can't do nothing when we wrong. When these people put innocent blood on their hands, Most High, remember, we call it innocent because by their laws our people is innocent. You smoking weed and by God's laws you're not innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like by their laws, they killing innocent people. And that's for sure. And they got to be judged by that because that's their judgment. Their judgment is saying you innocent and they still shooting you. They going to be judged by that. That's still sin. But the Most High God is not saying that all of our people are innocent. A lot of our people are sinners. Right? So when he looking at it, it's like, he's a sinner anyway. Most High God ain't tripping on death. He don't care. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? He don't care nothing about death. What he care about is living right. When they put truly righteous men and they treat them unrighteously and they shoot them, that's when God can move. Right? That's when God can move. But it take a man of God or a woman of God to walk in the way. And when we walk in the way and that stuff happens, man, God gonna move. But we gotta live right. Let's grab where we leave off last week.
Mark, the end of Mark chapter 4, I think. Yeah.
Let's do in Mark chapter 4. Let me see how that ends. Remember. Never mind. Go to Matthew 14. It's Matthew chapter 14, verse 1.
At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahushua and said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. Mm-hmm. For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife.
Right. So we looking at Herod. Herod like had jurisdiction over over Judah. So Herod was kind of like working for the Romans. You know, we didn't really mess with that too much. So Herod was kind of working for the Romans, and he had the rule over the people of Judah, or at least a portion of them. And he's kind of explaining that. He heard about Yahushua, because we talk about every time Yahushua do something, people go run their mouth and tell, and his fame was increasing. So now he heard about Yahushua. So now Herod is about to tell us what he did to John the Baptist. Y'all remember John the Baptist? We ain't heard about him in a long time. So this is what happened to John the Baptist. Go ahead and read that again.
For John said to him, it is not lawful for you to have her.
Hold on, go back.
For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake.
Right? So he put John the Baptist in prison, right? For Herodias' sake. Now watch why. Watch this.
His brother Philip's wife.
Uh-huh.
For John said unto him, it is not lawful for you to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude because they counted him as a prophet.
Right? So he took his brother's wife. And John called him out about it. You know what I'm saying? You see how this works? Like John, he not talking to little peons. He ain't just talking to the little peon. Look, when the regular little sinners was walking up to him, all he told them was repent. Didn't he? He just said repent. When the big dogs came to him, what did he tell them?
You brood of vipers.
He called them vipers. When the men of status came, he called them vipers. He didn't placate to him. He like, oh man, I'm happy y'all came. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a hug, man. Anybody can do it. He called them vipers. Because these are the people we all follow. Okay, cool. When the man who running the show, Herod, came, he told him, you ain't supposed to have your brother's wife. He called him out. Right? So when you do that, that's what a prophet look like. All these other people that only talk to the church, well, I just want to tell you, it looked like you got something coming, right? You got something coming. I don't know if it's next month. Maybe it even already happened. Tell me something that happened. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what they running their mouth about. They're just talking. And we put ourselves in a position, we're so desperate as a people, we believe it. And we looking for something. We looking for some type of miracle. We looking for something special that we all want to be a part of something special. So we go with it just with the hope that, you know what I'm saying, just the empty hope. We got something real to put our hope in. Make sure that thing line up with the book. You don't line up with the book, man. You can keep walking. Watch this. He told me, now, you ain't supposed to have your brother's your brother's wife.
And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude because they counted him as a prophet.
All right, so he is about to put John the Baptist to death, but he feared because everybody knew John the Baptist was a prophet. He knew that, man, this mess around cause a riot. You know what I'm saying? I kill him, people gonna start tripping. So he feared it. What else happened?
But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask.
Right, so she did a little dance for him. He was like, oh man, you dancing like that, you can get whatever you want. You just tell me. You just tell me what it is. You know what I'm talking about? You keep dancing, let me tell you something. What you want? He looked at you like, what you want in front of everybody. That was the problem though. He did it in front of everybody. He didn't wait until they was in private, because they didn't be like, man, I didn't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But he did it in front of everybody saw it. Watch it. He's gonna tell you, watch this.
And she being before, whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she being before instructed of her mother said, give me here John the Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her.
He said, for the oath's sake, and them who, it didn't leave that part out, and them who sat with him at meat. Because they saw it, they heard it. He ain't no righteous man. That oath would have been gone. He'd be like, nah, he ain't hear me say nothing like that. He kept moving too. Nah, I ain't said that fool and that crazy. Told you anything? Nah, you ever heard me tell anybody they can get anything you ever told? Nah, I ain't say nothing like that. Right? But everybody heard him say it. Everybody looking at him like, oh, you a sucker. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, that's my baby. You know what I'm talking about? Then she was like, all right, well, let me get John the Baptist's head on the charger. That boy's like, ooh, goodness gracious. That thing was tough. Watch what happened. When he said head on the charger, I don't even know what that is. What is the head on the charger? I don't know. I like to imagine that thing like a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got the little plate that the waiter be having. You know what I'm saying? She want his head on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody look that thing up, see what a head on the charger is.
Charger plate is a decorative plate.
That's the thing?
A charger plate, we sell them. It's a decorative plate.
Is it the one that they be holding? Like kinda?
It's
Just- I just
like
want-
your gold one on the bottom of your lamp. That's a charger plate. It's just a decorative plate.
Oh, like the one in my house?
Yeah, you got one. I can't. I'm sure Tasha got some.
Yeah, it's
too.
kind of
The
like,
ones you put
it's
out
kind of
the other
decorative.
day.
Those are charger plates.
Yeah.
She wanted his head on the dark plate, like serve it to me. Ain't that about something?
That's great.
Right? She is like, you know what I'm saying? Cause she had talking to her mom. You can imagine it, right? You can just kind of imagine it. She with brother, then she not with brother. Then she see hair. All right? However, who started it, who knows, but they together now. Right? Then John the Baptist come making her daughter feel like, you know what I'm saying, like she unseemly for doing this. And making Herod feel like he doing the wrong thing. But she loved the man. Who she gonna talk to? She gotta go talk to her mama. So she go to her mama and she tell her mama good mama too. Just like any good mama would. Ain't nothing wrong with you, baby. You follow your heart. If that's the man you love, I know, but John the Baptist keeps saying this, and Herod's talking about breaking up with me and this, that, and another. You know what? That John the Baptist. And she told him, like, man, I'm telling you, you know what would make me happy? If John the Baptist's head was just cut off and put on the darn plate. So when she did her little dance, the man was like, yeah, give me anything, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want. She told him, well, mom said, give it to me on a plate. And guess what? Let's see what John the Baptist did with that information, right? It don't take much. Not for a wicked man. You know what I'm saying? You look at a man that don't serve the Most High God, it don't take much. A little bit of lust is make a man do whatever, right? Watch this.
And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in the charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother.
I got that. Right? So John the Baptist is dead at this point. That's how he died. Now let's back up a little bit. Let's go to Matthew chapter 11. Give me verse 1. What verse was that we just left?
11.
Yeah, give me chapter 11, verse 1. Matthew chapter 11, verse 1. I wanted to go there first, so, you know what I'm saying, because it kind of describes how and when John the Baptist went to prison and died. It kind of described that after. Before, it just kind of let you know he in prison. So I wanted us to have that part of the story before we start to read this. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 1.
And it came to pass, when Yahushua had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed from there to teach and preach in their cities.
Mm-hmm.
Now when John had heard in the prison the works of the Messiah, he
So
sent
at this
two
point, John the
disciples.
Baptist still alive. He's just in prison. So he heard in prison that what?
He heard in the prison the works of the Messiah. He sent two of his disciples and said unto him, Are you he that should come, or do we look for another?
Right? So he, like, you have to understand that not even John the Baptist know for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, he know who he is. He know what happened. He remember the duh. He know all that. But he looking like, you got to imagine, John the Baptist also is waiting for somebody to come, fire and brimstone. Remember, he said, man, I'm telling you, if one to come after me, he going to baptize y'all in fire. Remember, like, so John the Baptist, nobody really has the plan, right? John the Baptist is the closest to it. But he don't know exactly, as far as he concerned, he know about the Messiah. He know what the Messiah is supposed to do. And he know for a fact that the Messiah come after him. He also know for a fact that this man had a dove that came from heaven. And said, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. All those are facts in his mind. But he's sitting in jail. Like, wait a minute, that don't make no sense that I'm in jail. It just don't make no sense that I'm in jail. Right? Okay, so I'm in jail. Okay, he doing miracles. It's cool, but this man that's working for Rome still got me in jail. Like, are we going to attack? Or, like, what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? So he don't know. He's not being presumptuous. He just asking the question. He's looking like, yo, just go holler at him and kind of figure out, like, I know you God's son because I was there. The dove came down. But are you the one? Like, is there somebody else we should be waiting on for? Or like, just help me know, are you the one? You know what I'm saying? So this is what he asked him. Watch it.
And he said to him, Are you thou he that should come, or do we look for another? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Go and show John again those things which you do hear and see.
Mm-hmm.
The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them.
Right?
And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me.
Right? So now he quoting the book to him. Right? So that's what the Most High God do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know the book. He not telling them flat out nothing. You have to know the book. So when you go back, remember, and that's different from us. It ain't like he just giving a Bible verse and a reference and sending it out to him or nothing like that. He just saying it. So you have to be able to catch that and be like, oh, and this is what happened before, and this is what happened after. You know what I'm saying, TBL? Like, what verse he quote from?
Isaiah.
Is Isaiah, you know which one? Is it in the reference?
29:18.
Watch this. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 18.
Isaiah 8:14.
He'll come right back. But I just want to look like this is what John the Baptist have to be aware of. Like when he hear that, he got to trigger something in his brain, and he got to be like, oh.
And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
The meek shall also increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
For the terrible one is brought to nothing, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off.
So when John hear that, he looking like, oh, that's it. Right? The poor get to hear and the ones that have iniquity, they cut off. Oh, that's it. He talking about Herod, who got me in prison right now. John the Baptist looking at it like, all right. My question was answered. Right? Let's see what 8 said. Is Isaiah 8 what?
Isaiah 8:14. The people that wrote these references low-key suck. They should let us do it. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel.
What?
And for a gin and a snare and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Yeah, it's weird. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I don't know what that was. But that first one was on, right?
But I remember it does say, you know what I'm saying, blessed are those that are not offended in me. I know it's somewhere, but they got it wrong.
Right? Yeah, I want to say that's sorrow. But either way, we look at him when John the Baptist heard that, he putting it together. He like, oh, okay, you the one that's gonna take down the evil ones. That's cool, right? So let's go back and let's see what happened after that. Where we at, Matthew?
All right, so this is the one you want, like Isaiah 35. Say to them that are fearful of heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even with recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as a hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. And the parched ground shall come to a pool. Yeah, so that's the closest they got.
All right, so we look at it when John the Baptist is hearing it. He putting these things together and he's forming the picture like, okay, this is the Messiah. This is the one who's supposed to come and save and change how the world works and all that. Like, this is the Messiah. This is who we waiting for. Because that was his question. Like, man, are you the one or should we wait for another? Like, should we still be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you special, no doubt about it. I know the dove came down, but like, I'm in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff still, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, should I still be chilling? Like, waiting on you, or are we waiting on somebody else? Let's see.
Where you want to go now? Matthew what?
Back where we left off, Matthew chapter 11, probably about verse 3.
6.
6.
And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And as they departed, Yahshua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went you out in the wilderness to see?
Right, so John, you gotta get the picture. John's messenger came to him. It's like, yo, John just want to know, like, is it you or are we waiting for somebody else? So Yahushua replied back to him and gave him the Bible verses. That's it. Didn't straight answer the question. He just like, you know what I'm saying, just let him know this was happening. And it match up with the Bible verse. Okay, cool. So they go back and be like, all right, man, we'll tell them. They probably don't know what they, you know what I'm saying? All right, we'll tell them. You know what I'm saying? So they go back. As soon as they walk away, Yahushua turned to the crowd and he is like, so why y'all go to see John the Baptist? Right, watch this.
A reed shaking with the wind?
He's like, I went out there to go see, you know what I'm saying, like this little branch, you know what I'm saying, a little twig shaking with the wind. That what y'all went out to see? Y'all ain't never seen nothing like that before? Why y'all go out there? Because the man was in the desert. You know what I'm saying? So in the desert, you got like, you know what I'm saying, you might just have like a little branch, you know what I'm saying, a little dry branch sticking out and the wind blowing. He's like, that what y'all went out there to see? He's like, what else y'all go out there to see? He being sarcastic right now.
But what went you out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment?
But y'all ain't never seen nobody in soft clothes out in the desert? That what y'all went to go see? What else?
Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses.
Right? You can go there, you can get that everywhere. So he said, what y'all go see?
But what went you out to see? A prophet? Yes, and I say unto you more than a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before your face, which shall prepare the way before thee, thy way before thee. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there has not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John. And if you will receive it, this is Elijah which was to come.
Right? So he telling them, he looking at it like, listen, Elijah is the last prophet. That's what he just told you. Elijah is the last prophet. That got that. When it comes to the law, when it comes to Moses, that's the last one you gonna get.
And he said all the prophets prophesied from the law up until John. So if you're not Elijah, you call yourself a prophet, that thing gonna be kind of hard to believe.
Well, now, he didn't say it ain't gonna be no more prophets, because we know we got prophets after that. He's saying when it comes to the law, when it comes to this moment, right? Because that's all we got. He's bringing the gospel. He's bringing the new covenant, right? So when we got the current covenant, he's telling you that's where the buck stopped. There's nobody greater than the man, right? He telling you this is where the buck stopped. He's trying to let you know I'm doing something new. Like that book closed, right? Boom, boom, boom. John the Baptist got that. John the Baptist is about to die. We just read about how he died. He in prison. Man chopped off his head. He know that. That's why he's saying that about him. He's making sure he kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know how you speak nice to the dead? That's what he's doing. He kind of like, man, I want y'all to understand we about to lose somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to know this the man. Who knows how the timing worked out? His messengers may not have ever got back to him alive. Who knows? The man might have got his head chopped off right after that. Who knows? But you look at it, the Most High God was looking at it like, okay, go ahead and go ahead and say something nice about him. You know what I'm saying? So you let everybody know, like, man, this is where the book stopped right there. That closes the Old Testament. Now we're doing something new.
Still surprising though.
What?
Moses was the man. And like I can imagine like the people hearing that, thinking about Moses, like what? You know, like, how John the Baptist is better than Moses?
He better than Moses?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How I go. All right? Let's see. Keep going.
He that has ears to hear, let him hear. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows and saying, We have piped unto you, and you have not danced.
He said, we blew our flutes. You know what I'm saying? We were playing music for you. Why you didn't dance? Right? And then what else?
We have mourned unto you, and you have not lamented.
Okay, and then we start crying. Ain't nobody crying with me?
For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he has a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children.
Right? So in other words, what he's saying is, I've given it to you multiple ways. Right? I gave you John the Baptist, and the man was calm, collected. He did stuff by the book. He fasted. All the holiness that you can think of, he represented it. Y'all call that man a darn devil. Then I come, I'm a little loose from what y'all traditions say. You know what I mean? I go and I chill with the sinners, you know what I'm saying? At least that's how y'all take it. You know what I'm saying? I eat and I accept them and all this stuff because they trying to change their life. And y'all call me a winebibber, a drunkard, in other words, right? And then after that, he said, all right, wisdom is justified by our children. So in other words, the children of wisdom, right? The people who are birthed from wisdom, right? They will give justification to the wisdom. Said a different way, you gonna find out who right. Let's see, keep going.
Then began he to upbraid the cities wherein most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not. Woe unto thee, Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And you, Capernaum, which are exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in you had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day.
Right? always when I read this one time, like I read it, probably a few times, but one time I read it and I just thought about that thing. I was like, so he knew, like this is God. You know what I'm saying? It's the Spirit of God talking. So the Most High God knew what it would take to cause Sodom not to be burned. He knew that at any point he could have just sent somebody to do the mighty works that Yahushua is doing right now, and had that happen in Sodom, Sodom would have preserved. But the Most High God chose not to do that in Sodom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was well within his power to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying, just do a couple miracles in here, these people will believe, and that way I ain't got to destroy this place. But that's not what his preference was. He knew that would happen, and he come there and he looking like, nah, I'm saving it for y'all, and I'll do it for y'all. And had these been done back there, they would all repented. Now I'm doing it for y'all, and y'all not even repenting. That means he know exactly what he could do to them, and they would repent. Right? You have to understand.
I think in Ezekiel or one of those books, he called Israel Sodom.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. He called us in Revelation too. All right, but he look at us. He's not tap dancing for us. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to get through. Like, the Most High God is not like some people kind of get the picture that the Most High God is like just trying his hardest to like, please believe me, like please believe I'm God. Not these. That's not what he's doing. He's just not doing that. Like, he's just putting on, you got that and that, figure it out. Come to it on your own. Right? You either believe it or you don't. Right? That's his attitude about it. And when we know that, it changes our perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got somebody to cater. That's why these kids act like this. You know what I'm saying? You got their mama cater to them all the time, this, that, and other. Well, now they looking for it. Meanwhile, the same kids, you put them in front of me, all of a sudden they independent. They know how to work. You know, they know how to figure that thing out. Because they don't expect me to. The expectation for me is not to tap dance. Like, I'm not about to do all this extra stuff for you. You're going to deal with it. You're going to have to figure it out. Right? And that's how the Most High God is. If he came to us like that, that would be the expectation from everybody. Look, he's not doing that, and it's the expectation from these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, these Christians expect God to just show. Oh, well, God, you got people, if God really loved me, he wouldn't have done this, that, and the other. Like, what in the world type of warped thinking is that? That's just because I want the man to tap that. I want the man to give me what I want, when I want it, and how I want it, period. That's not this guy. You got the wrong one. You right. You should be an atheist. You got the wrong one. That's just not how you work. Keep going. Let's see. What verse is this?
We are on 24. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for you. At that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise.
He said, thank you, Lord, for hiding this stuff from the what?
From the wise and prudent.
They think they darn smart guy. He said, thank you for hiding these things from the wise and prudent.
And has revealed them unto babes.
Like, you have to understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a Messiah, a God who just thanked God, right? Thanked God for hiding this from the wise and the prudent. But somehow people develop this mindset that it should just be right here for us. And we should just get it. And it should be understood. And God loves all of us. And he wants everyone to be saved the same way. And none of us should have to have effort. Sure, he wants it's his preference that everybody be saved. Absolutely. Don't make the mistake of thinking that he gonna change any of the rules for you to get there. That thing gonna be exactly for everybody the same way. And if your butt don't make it, that thing good to him too. Like, either way, that thing good for him. Keep going.
Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in your sight, all things are delivered unto me and of my Father. Mm-hmm. And no man knows the Son but the Father. Neither knows any man the Father except the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Mm-hmm. Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls.
All right? It's Mark chapter 6. See if we can shoot through this real quick. This is Mark chapter 6. It's a problem, man. We ain't got nobody to teach us the truth. There's nobody that just lay it out flat. We become so accustomed to people just lying to us.
Ain't no Moses, ain't no Joshua.
Ain't no Moses, ain't no Joshua, man. Ain't no John the Baptist. You know what I'm saying? These boys out here, man, these boys just lying. The best of them is liars. You know what I'm saying? Like the best of them, the ones we even respect. It's just like, the best we got, but they liar too. You know what I'm saying? Like we got respect for Malcolm X.
Right, but that boy was a liar.
That boy did, the best. Listen, the best of them was lying.
Yeah.
That boy's a Muslim. Martin Luther King was a darn Christian.
I rock with a lot of stuff Malcolm said, but that boy was a Muslim.
At the end of the day,
that boy was lying.
like that's the best we got. That's creme de la darn creme for us. Is a liar. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta kind of ignore that. Be like, he didn't teach
What he
people.
said about social justice.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't teach people. He can't believe nothing he said about God. But listen. Martin Luther King was a great man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just ignore everything. Anytime he preached the word to you, just throw that to the side. You know what I'm saying? Don't even listen to that.
Didn't
But
Martin Luther King have like a girlfriend?
yeah, and that too. Well, that's what they say. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But that's what they say. They say the man had a girlfriend, and that too, right? You know what I'm saying? But all of them sinners. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it ain't nothing that you can like. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a whole list of things like Martin Luther King. Except for this and except for that, and except for that, Martin Luther King was the man. Malcolm X. That was the man. Except that he stood by a pedophile. Except for all that, that was the man. You know what I mean? Like that's the best we got. We ain't got nobody to protect us. You got people right now.
Was it Nipsey Hussle? He put a lot of people on, man. we ain't got that.
Yeah, you know, people was like, Nipsey Hussle might have been the Messiah. Like,
No. It was just a homie from across the street.
Yeah, that's it.
It is just
That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's low-key the Arab homie, you know what I'm saying? Mixed with a little black, that's all. You know what I'm saying? That's it. A little African homie, that's all. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's good. You know what I'm saying? No, man. It's like people don't understand that, man, how powerful, like, Nipsey is a good example, how powerful culture is. You know what I'm saying? Like he's able to develop the mindset and was able to make the moves in our culture because he brought a little bit from his culture in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like you watch interviews, the man will tell you, man, I went out there and visited my people in Mitra, something like that. And you know what I'm saying? It's like Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? It's like the other half of Ethiopia, and like they always fighting with each other and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He went over there and he saw his people and saw how they, you know what I'm saying, how they got down and the conditions they were living in and all this different stuff. And he brought that back. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand that man had a father and his father was from there. And he spoke to his father. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all that culture was in him. Even if he never went there, it was already in him. He go there and it like solidified and then he come back and it changes your mindset. Like imagine if we had our culture. If we could teach our culture. If we could have communities of people that kept the Sabbath and communities of people that kept our feast days and the knowledge our stuff, that brings a different mindset, right? We able to walk into it right now. We just like a blank slate, and we ain't got no social capital. Right? It's one thing to have like you can have like social and political capital kind of go together. Then you got actual like financial capital. You know what I'm saying? We don't have either of those, right? So you might have like a lot of times when the people talk about like racism and reparations, like one of the things they say, well, you know, me and my wife were talking about it too. She like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, your daddy rich. And like, that's true. You know what I'm saying? My daddy got money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. She's like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say to, like, the white person who may not even have as good of life as you? It's like, well, you got to understand, like, this white, like, if you look at this white person, right? Let's say I got a rich daddy, right? But his daddy was poor. And his daddy before him was poor. And his daddy before him was a slave. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my dad did, in his situation, was one, super lucky and exceptional. One of the two or a mixture of both. Right? Where a poor white person, his daddy was probably a billionaire. Right? And the kid didn't obey him, So he pushed the kid away, or he had born out of wedlock, or something messed up happened there, where it was like an individual mistake or individual decision that led to that person not having connection to his family wealth. That person still has a family, and I guarantee that wealth is still there. Maybe they don't have access to it because of decisions. Maybe not his fault, maybe the other person's fault. Or maybe it is his fault, right? Whoever, it's different decisions, but that the money is still there. We don't even have that. Like, I don't have nobody that's a call away. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
even with your dad being what he is, it ain't like he can just like.
he can't do nothing.
Right.
Because everybody, his community is poor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, for sure. Like, I can do something individually. Right. I can buy me a house or 2 or 3. Right? But I can't like uplift a community. Right. Or else I'll be poor.
It's like, I'll buy you a house, you're gonna lose it. You know what I'm saying?
So you look at it's different. So that's capital, right? The social capital is, I've always, like a white person, I've always been around money. I know I have a history of money. My culture is my social capital. So it's like, I can walk, like me, I'm walking into these business meetings and I'm doing all this stuff. And it's like, there's words and lingo and all this different stuff. Like, I'm decently educated. I ain't go to college and all that stuff, but I still educate myself on how to speak and all this. So it's like, cool. But there's certain, it's not like taught words. It's just things that you pick up just from being around it. You know what I mean?
Slang for us.
It's exactly like that. It's like their version of slang. And it's like, when they hear you not speaking like them, they know that you're different. They know it. It's certain words. Like me, I might look at something and I'll be like, yeah, well, you know, it's like, you know, I might be trying to explain something, and, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, I think you should put these 2 things together and eventually they're gonna come apart. Right? That might be how I explain it. But when they do it, they'll be like, well, you know, you're gonna have at least 2 things that bifurcate. You know what I'm saying? So this word is like bifurcate. You know what I'm saying? No one uses that word. But if you're in a certain group, at some point, someone used that word. So it's those type of little lingos and little things that it doesn't mean anyone's smarter. 9 times out of 10, smarter than the people in these rooms, right? But they have language that can get them further because it makes them feel comfortable. That's the social capital. The social capital is, here's a real simple way of putting it. Social capital, y'all, have y'all seen, you probably ain't seen it yet because you ain't online and stuff, but have y'all seen the thing, the article going around about Rand Paul blocking the lynching bill? You know what I'm saying? They making lynching a national hate crime. You know what I'm saying? So I think Cory Booker, one of the congressmen, put this as a bill. It's like lynching, national hate crime, this, that, another, da. It's been too long. This should have already been on the books, this, that, another. So it's like this symbolic thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just symbolic. And that's at least how I thought about it. So then you have Rand Paul, who's a Republican. He jumped up and he's holding up the bill from being passed. He's like, I oppose it. So everybody looking at him, he's a racist! You know what I'm saying? He's against the lynching law. He wants black people to be lynched and all of that. So I'm looking at it and like, Rand Paul, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I kind of rock with some stuff he do and kind of don't. So I'm like, but nobody's that stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what probably happened? The Democrats, this is what Democrats do sometimes. This is what both sides do sometimes. They slide a whole bunch, like they name the bill the Great American Bill. You know what I'm saying? The Make Everybody Greater Bill. You know what I'm saying? Then within it, they be like, you know what I'm saying? We spy on this person and let's move this money to these companies and all. So like within the bill, they sneak all this stuff in there. So I was like, let me hear what Rand Paul got to say. He probably found they tried to sneak some stuff. Well, I found out he didn't find none of that. The man was literally saying, listen, this bill's a little too harsh. Right? He's like, man, it's a little too harsh. We all fight for criminal justice for black people, like every one of us. And we all agree that we've been putting people in jail for minor offenses. Like it's people that's doing life in prison, black people that are doing life in prison right now for minor offenses. We all agree about that, and we all fight for that here every day. And then y'all turn around, he talking about, you know what I'm saying, he talking about the rest of the congressmen. Y'all turn around and y'all want to pass this lynching bill that could potentially put somebody in jail for using a racial slur and slapping somebody in the face, and they can go to jail for that for 10 years, 15 years. He's like, that's excessive. He's like, it's too much time. And while I agree, you know what I'm saying? While I agree you slap somebody, call them the N-word, you shouldn't do 15 years for that. You know what I'm saying? While I agree, at the same time, the social capital is in having someone to defend white folks. Because that's the target of this bill. Right? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have black people that's...
What can we call them?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no, you know, no racial slur that we gonna use, that we gonna get. The target of this is putting white people in jail who attack black people is the main target, right? Eventually they'll twist it and use it for something else, but that's the main target right now. So you have a white man who can stand up and be like, this is crazy. And protect his people. And be like, nah, it's going a little too far here, guys. I'm with the bill, he said. Let's just change it a little bit so that we can make sure that people don't go to jail. He's like, listen, it probably won't ever happen. Yeah, I bet it won't. You fighting this hard for something that it probably won't ever happen? No, you fighting this hard because you know there's going to be white people that slap people in the face. And while you might not be racist and while you might be an honest man, you looking at it like, that don't make sense. Who did that for us? Right? When Joe Biden wrote the crime bill, when they put the war on drugs, when they did the minimum sentencing, like who stood in for us and was like, no, that don't make sense. Like I get what we trying to do. We want to be tough on drugs, this, that, and another, but putting a person in for life, right? 3 strikes and you out over minor offenses or over non-violent offenses, that y'all know that don't make no darn sense, right? Who did that for us? Nobody. And the reason is we don't have social capital. Right? We don't have political capital. These are all the things that reparations change. Right? Once you get the capital, then you can create your own circles or be involved in other circles, which then you're now respected. You develop that lingo. You get relationships. You get power. You get influence. To the point where now you can stand up. One of our people tried to stand up back in the 60s, right? Back in the 70s, back in the 80s, back in the 90s to stop some of these bills that were being passed. Hey, look, dude, boy, if you don't sit your butt down. That's why right now Joe Biden can defend himself with the crime bill by saying, no, all the black congressmen signed it too. Because he knew, boy, you better sign it. What's wrong with you? You do want to come to work next year, don't you? Oh, okay. You might want to put your signature down. What's wrong with you? There's no capital there. Yeah, well, I mean, we figureheads. Like, you know what I'm saying? We here, we there. You know what I'm saying? We a face. We just the old good boys. That's the difference. Right? Keep on. I don't know where we was at. Mark 6. This is Mark chapter 6. Give me verse 1.
I was arguing with Eve about Jay-Z, about the NFL. She was like, you know, well, he got a seat at the table. I was like, well, there ain't no seat.
No seat.
I tell that boy a house Negro now.
Yeah, ain't no seat. Do you know how the seat work?
I was like, that boy ain't got no say so it doesn't.
All right, I was talking to somebody.
He
but yeah,
everybody dance.
He make more money in Goodell. Yeah, okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That boy
Yeah, okay. He might have more assets than Goodell. He ain't got more assets than the owners.
He ain't got no liquor.
You know what I'm saying? You understand? What do you think Goodell is? What do you think he is? Goodell, Roger Goodell. What is he? He's just an employee. You know what I'm saying? Like don't think that he's like the owner of the NFL. No, he's the commissioner. Like he's the one that, like, when we need somebody to talk, we send him. No, the owners are the owners of the teams. Do Jay got more money than them?
Of course not.
Don't be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? These people buy teams. You know what I'm talking about?
They wouldn't even let Jay get a...
Jay can't get him. Jay wants a team.
Yeah, buddy.
He got more money than these people. He can rap. Listen, I like him. He can rap well. You know what I'm talking about? Man can rap darn well. And in one of his raps, he say, I got more money than Goodell. That's very nice. That's not the conversation, though. Yeah. Right? That's not the conversation.
I heard.
They made you the Black Goodell now. Now you an employee, right? And you are the figurehead, just like Goodell is a figurehead, to go communicate to the black community now. So now that's why they can get on TV and Goodell can come out and he'll be like, you know what? We was wrong about all this kneeling stuff. The nerve. Like, you know the nerve. You know what, y'all? We were wrong. We made a mistake. That stuff blows me away. Like, that's white power. You know what I'm saying? But that's the power of being white. Or even not even being white, just having access to being white. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that ain't white, They come over here and they white. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It ain't got nothing to do with skin color. It's black people, you know what I'm saying, that can come right over here and have access to whiteness immediately. You know what I'm saying? It's a lady,
Congresswoman or something like that.
oh, it's a whole bunch of them, yeah. But you know,
African immigrants.
African immigrants that be on TV, all this stuff, and they speak as if they us.
Yeah.
Right? But they say all the stuff to keep access to whiteness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the power of it though, to be able to be dead wrong about something, dead wrong, negatively impact so many people's lives, and then come back later and be like,
My bad.
and then keep it pushing.
No one gets canceled.
Nobody get canceled. Matter of fact, now black people love you because he apologized. White people love you like, oh, he didn't have to do that. I would have never done it, and I would have just been fine. He's a noble man. Meanwhile, our people still getting killed. Just like they ain't being killed when we told you they're being killed, and that's why we knew. Oh, wait, nothing changed. But I'm happy that you realized your mistake. My mama tells she was like, yeah, you know that money talk. You start losing money, it's that another. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Sorry. I don't think it's because he is losing too much money.
No, not at all.
Not saying they didn't lose money, because they did. But I don't think that was the driver. I don't think it's because they had lose. I think they could afford to lose as much as they're gonna lose.
That thing didn't put a dent in it.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. They saw an opportunity to gain money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They like, man, so you mean to tell me all we gotta say? Hold on, Jay, talk to me. Call up Jay-Z. So if we cut you in right now, you can deliver all them people to it. Yeah, but y'all have to have some real change. That's what Jay telling him. Cause in his mind, he fighting the fight. In Jay's mind, he fighting. Y'all have to have some real change. I mean, give my money. Okay. Y'all have to have some real change. You know what I'm saying? Donate to a couple charities. You know what I'm saying? Support me in some of my causes that I'm doing because I'm really fighting for black people. It's okay, so how much is that gonna cost? I don't know, maybe over the Fed a couple years, 100 million. 100 million? But you can't go ahead and take it. What you mean? Nothing. That jump here, you go up, do it. So Jay rolling dough. You know what I'm talking about? They rolling dough because they said, okay, now our rating about to go through the roof. Because all of us love football. We just needed that good excuse to go back to loving it. And now that football become black power, more money.
More money.
And my boy Cap still out of a job, right? As a matter of fact, even if they offered him a job now, the man would probably pass his prime. You know what I mean? So his whole life ruined. You know what I'm saying? And they could just say, no, my bad.
Or he didn't want to accept our offer.
No, my bad.
Or he turned us down. Or Cap messed up.
It's ridiculous, man. That stuff frustrates me. It's Mark chapter 6, verse 1.
And he went out from there and came to his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath was come, he began to teach in the synagogues, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, from where did this man get these things? And what wisdom is this which is given to him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and Judah and Simon?
Mm-hmm.
Are not his sisters here with us?
Mm-hmm.
And they were offended at him.
Right?
But Yahushua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country,
Mm-hmm.
and among his own kin, and in his own house.
Mm-hmm.
And he could there do no mighty works, except that he laid his hands upon a few sick folk and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went round about the villages teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And he called unto him the 12, and began to send them forth by 2 and 2, and gave them power over unclean spirits, and commanded them that they should take nothing for their journey, except a staff only, no scrip nor bread, no money in their purse.
Mm-hmm.
But be shod with sandals, and not put on 2 coats. And he said unto them, in what place soever you enter into a house, there abide till you depart from that place.
Mm-hmm.
And whosoever shall not receive you nor hear you when you depart from there, shake off the dust under your feet for a testimony against them. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city.
Mm-hmm. So now he's arming his disciples. He said, hey, go on out. Go ahead, preach the word. Don't take nothing with you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who give you something, you know what I'm saying, that's what you worth. Right? And when you go, if somebody don't accept you, you know what I'm saying, shake off the dust. Don't have none of that evil stuff on you. Because don't even worry about it. They're going to get there. Right? Keep going.
And they went out and preached that men should repent. And they cast out many devils and anointed with oil many that were sick and healed them.
Mm-hmm.
And King Herod heard of him, for his name was spread abroad. And he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him.
Right, so it's similar to what we read, what we started out with. Let's keep going.
Others said that this is Elijah, and others said that it is a prophet, or as one of the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
But when Herod heard thereof, he said, it is John whom I beheaded. He is risen from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
For Herod
So
himself had come forth.
he thought John the Baptist came back. That's how bad John the Baptist was. You know what I'm saying? He's like, ooh, this is the same type of, you know what I'm saying, type of stuff that John the Baptist was doing. You know what I'm saying? Same type of fame he had. So he thought John the Baptist came back. He was like, watch this.
Herod himself had sent forth and laid upon John and bound him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother's Philip's wife,
Mm-hmm.
for he married her. For John had said unto Herod, it is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore Herodias had a quarrel against him and would have killed him, but she could not. For Herod feared John, knowing that he was a just man and a holy, and observed him. And when he heard him, he did many things and heard him gladly. And when the convenient day was come, that Herod on his birthday made a supper to his lords, high captains and chief estates of Galilee.
Mm-hmm.
And when the daughter of the said Herodias came in and danced and pleased Herod, and them that sat with him, the king said unto the damsel, ask me whatsoever you will, and I will give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he sware unto her, whatsoever you shall ask of me, I will give it to you, even half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, what shall I ask? And she said, the head of John the Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in straightway with haste to the king and asked, saying, I will that you give me by and a charger the head of John the Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
And the king was exceedingly sorry, yet for his oath's sake, and for their sakes which sat with him, he would not reject her. And immediately the king sent an executioner and commanded his head to be brought. And he went and beheaded him in the prison, and brought his head in the charger, and gave it to the damsel, and the damsel gave it to her mother. And when his disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse and laid it in a tomb. And the apostles gathered themselves together to Yahushua, and told him all the things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place, and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And when they departed into a desert place by ship privately, and the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot there out of all the cities, and outwent them, and came together unto him. And when Yahushua came out and saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd,
Mm-hmm.
and he began
Because
to
they
teach
was
them
what?
many things. Sheep not having a shepherd.
He said, these people just run around and had no leaders. Right? It's the same position that we in today. People just don't run around and ain't got no leader. He said, a sheep not having a shepherd, he did what?
And began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, this is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away that they may go into the country round about, and into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. And he answered and said unto him, you give them something to eat.
Right? He said, you give them something to eat. Watch this.
And they said unto him, shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread, and give them to eat?
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them, how many loaves have you?
Mm-hmm.
Go and see. And when they knew, they say 5. And when they knew, they say 5 and 2 fishes.
Mm-hmm.
And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass.
Mm-hmm.
And they sat down in ranks by hundreds and fifties.
Right? So he set them down, hundreds and fifties. Right? Had a couple pieces of bread, couple fish. Right? Let's see.
And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and gave them to his disciples to set before them, and the 2 fishes divided he among them all.
So he broke off pieces and everybody ate. All right, keep going.
And they did all eat and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets full of the fragments and of the fishes.
Mm-hmm.
And they did eat of the loaves were about 5,000. And they that did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men.
Watch this.
And straightway he constrained his disciples to get into the ship and to go to the other side before unto Bethsaida.
Mm-hmm.
While he sent away the people, and when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray.
Mm-hmm.
And when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land. And And he saw them toiling and rowing, for the wind was contrary to them. And about the fourth watch of the night he comes unto them walking upon the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have passed by them. But when they saw him walking upon the sea, they supposed it had been a spirit, and cried out.
They thought it was a ghost.
For they all saw
So the
him.
man walking on water, they thought it was a ghost. They looking at him like, oh, goodness gracious, what's going on? They having trouble rowing against the water, right? They trying to get across the water. They having trouble. They stuck. You know what I'm saying? And he saw it, so he just started walking on the. Yeah, sure. You gotta understand, like he just messing with people at this point, right? He just like, okay, let me just shake some stuff up. So now he's just walking on the water. You know what I'm saying? Coming to him like, oh, what's wrong? Y'all need some help? They having trouble, bro. He just walking on water. What y'all need some help? You know what I'm saying? Then he walking over to him. Watch what happened.
But when they saw him walking upon the sea, they supposed it had been a spirit, and cried out. For they all saw him and were troubled. And immediately he talked with them and said unto them, Be of good cheer. It is I. Be not afraid. And he went up unto them into the ship, and the wind ceased. And they were sore amazed in themselves beyond measure and wonder. For they considered not the miracle of the loaves, for their heart was hardened. And when they had passed over, they came into the land of Gennesaret, and drew to the shore. And when they were come out of the ship, straightway they knew him. 53.
All right, let's stop there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pick up in John next week, and that'd be a good place. Because at this time, like at this time period in this walk, so we probably about, you know what I'm saying? We was right here first. Hand me a thug. You know what I'm saying? So we was right here at first. Now we probably about right here. You know what I'm saying? So we almost halfway through. Remember, he died right here. You know what I'm saying? So we probably about almost halfway through. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, now he just, you know what I'm saying? Now he's provoking people. He just messing with them now. He walk first. He feed, you know what I'm saying, with the fishes, but the people didn't respond to that enough. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't realize. They didn't like capture, like, we started off with 5 loaves and 2 fish, and we just fed 5,000 people. And we just collected more than what we started off with. You know what I'm saying? Like the leftovers was more than what we started out with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they didn't appreciate it. So he walking away, you know what I'm saying? Then he's like, God got something for him. Let me walk on this water real quick. So he started walking on the water. Then they start freaking out. They're like, goodness gracious. We can read another account of it. We're talking about Peter trying to get out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's when they start taking him serious. Then after that, we're going to read what he did in John. You know what I'm saying? So it comes right after this event. Then he goes to John, and to John, then he started talking to people, to our people. You know what I'm saying? Not to our people, but the people of Judah. You know what I'm saying? He started talking to them, and yeah, we'll talk about it next week. All right? Any questions? Let's pray out.